hello and welcome in everyone to the second main phase, a competitive Magic the Gathering podcast brought to you by Team Mainphase. We are sponsored by the Mana Vault and Kangaroo Tales. I am one of your regular co-hosts. My name is Jason Cornell, and I'm joined by my other regular co-host, Douglas Bailey. How are we doing today, Doug?
I'm doing great, baby. Oh my goodness. Long
Cool.
time coming. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Long time in the works to get this ball moving, but so now that we're here, we've kind of got the ball moving. What the heck is this? What are we doing? So with this kind of being our official launch of what is going to be a regularly, weekly podcast for our listeners and fans out there, might be important for us to kind of start with an introduction and who we are, where we are, what are we doing, how did we get here?
Yeah, I can definitely start with that. Hello, people of the internet. My name is Douglas Bailey. I go by Doug or Dougie Fresh, the Doug Bailey, whatever you want to call me. I'm, of course, I'm the member of Team Mainphase, one of the main producers of this show. I'm 27 years old, and I've been playing Magic since Theros Block. I've been playing competitive Magic for a while now. It's something I really enjoy, and I'm just excited to finally be out here expressing myself, man. This is great. I think every guy my age is like, I'm going to do a podcast, and then never does it. And then here we are. Now we're joining the other league of people who do have a podcast and won't shut up about it.
That's true. I do think that is a lot of people really enjoy this. I think we're going to enjoy this. I hope our listeners and fans enjoy this. This is something that we wanted to do for a long time. So I'm also pumped about it. And I am also Jason Cornell, like I said. So, a brief, quick rundown for me. Yeah, been playing Magic for a long time. I'm much older than you, Doug. Why did you have to tell the people what our ages are? Now, I have to tell the people I am 42, and I probably started playing Magic, I think, around 2000. Invasion was kind of the newest thing, and when I fell in love with that, and that's what really connected me to the game and has kept me there. Of course, life and other stuff happens, and you take breaks and you come back, and here we are. We've been doing this for a minute with main phase, and we are excited to be here. So, I guess let's talk a little bit more. Now we kind of got you and I out of the way. What the heck is this Team Mainphase thing that we've mentioned a couple of times? Who are the rest of us? Is there more of us? What are we doing? And for those who are new here or new to us, or haven't seen any of our content, haven't seen us before, we are Team Mainphase, like we said, and we are a competitive Magic the Gathering team, like you see on your screen there. We are focused on always improving, getting better, and just being good people in general. That is important to us. We may not be quite the household, name yet for you, but I assure you that we are one of the premier Pro Tour caliber teams. We're currently based in Texas, and our members include the Douglas Bailey, as we've already talked about, Dougie Fresh in the house, Steve Cassidy, myself, Jason Cornell, Curtis Islami, Alan Hubbard, our captain, El Capitan, Gabe Hoglar, Chris Crow, Jacob Koshak, Gavin Marr, and Gabe Nichols.
Yep, that's our roster. But before we get too into it, there was a mistake there. You said we're not a household name. I would like to refute that. Very much so. Even though the people who produced the last Pro Tour did not agree with what I'm about to say, I consider us a household name. Yeah. We've had multiple people who top-aided RCs, top-aided GPs. We've been producing content on our Metafy page for a while now with a decent amount of people following us. I find it an insult to the highest order that you don't consider us household names. Because and also in our local community as well, like you said, we're based in Texas.
Yeah,
we're the Mainphase guys, and in all the southern region, people know who we are. We hold ourselves to a higher degree and choose sportsmanship and fun in conjunction to competitive Magic. So, how dare you, sir?
Yeah,
how dare you?
I agree that hopefully there's enough people out there that are at least familiar with this, or see us at events and stuff like that. Hey, we've got a lot of friends and we're a big group, right? So hopefully we've got some overlap and some connections out there with y'all. But for the people that haven't, we're not, in the Northeast or some of these other regions as much maybe. So hopefully we get to know y'all and y'all get to know us.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you already said this, Jason, but like uh, we're gonna joke, we're gonna laugh, we're gonna have some fun. That's the whole point of this podcast. But we're also gonna be a competitive podcast, right? We're
Yeah.
we're we're aiming towards the grinders, right? We're RC PT grinders. We have people in and out of the PT. We're always trying to get back on the PT or stay on the PT. So that's where we're going to be aiming our focus to for sure. But
Yeah.
but but today we're not getting into competitive magic today. Today we're just getting used to us, getting used to our insanities and
Yeah.
and our quippiness, and just trying to get to know y'all. And hopefully you like us. If you don't, then bye 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 bang bang.
Yeah, today's episode is going to be a little bit of fun, but like you're totally right, Doug. So going forward, I would expect some very high level content from us, some in depth. We're going to be on the cutting edge of a lot of stuff. We're going to be talking about all the competitive formats. We're going to be kind of giving you a peek behind the door on some stuff. And hopefully you'll find some very useful information here that you can take to your RC, to your RCQs, to whatever event you're
Mhm.
participating in. Maybe it's the Hunter Burton, things like that hopefully there'll be some good information here for you. That is our goal. That is what we want to be. Yeah, we want to have fun with you guys. We want to hope that you're here having fun, but we want to also provide a lot of useful information for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're either gonna like it or flame us on Twitter. One of those two things are gonna happen. Maybe they'll both happen.
Yeah.
Maybe if we're lucky. You know what I mean?
So, in case you couldn't tell, we are a little different from some other teams, right? Besides our little bit of banter here back and forth, we're not the same as some other Pro Tour teams. We our construction's different. Our origin, I guess, if you want to call it that, is also pretty unique too. We've been friends for a long time, and like I mentioned before, life changes. We've gone through some different phases of ourself, of our engagement with Magic. Are we taking it seriously? Are we taking a step back? Those kind of things. And now that we're here and we've been focused and dialed in here for a while, it had to start somewhere. And for me, that story kind of starts with Regional Championship San Diego, and that was what, August 2023, I think. That's kind of
Yes, sir.
where I think we really started to formalize some stuff. Is that
Yeah.
is that kind of lined up with you, Doug, or do you think there's
Yeah.
some different starting points? Because
Well,
we've got a lot of different perspectives on this.
if you want the true origin, the behind the scenes of Team Mainphase, I
We
I
do.
think it goes back a little further than that.
Mhm.
And like even before me, but before even I was on the team, there was
Yeah.
a origin before that. I kind of started a team back in like early 2022 with Alan Hubbard and Gabriel Nicholas called Dragons Inferno. Yes, it is a stupid name, and I'm
Can't all
sorry.
be good.
They can't all be they can't all be main phase, man. That's just beautiful off the tongue. Just main phase.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, different iterations, a lot of different rotating cast, and that's not something that we're doing now, obviously, and we'll get into that. But yeah, there's and part of that is different life commitments and our how serious we're taking Magic and where we're at, what our goals are, what our motivation is, and so as all that kind of shuffled and changed there in the early years, we've solidified into something that works for us, and we'll kind of walk you through some of that. So, like I said, for me, it kind of started with San Diego. There's a lot of fun stories there. Maybe we'll tap into, but I guess like let's start with that first thing that we just said. We don't have a rotating cast members here. We are committed to each other. We're committed to the team, and we don't really fluctuate that. For you're qualified for this pro tour, but you're not, that sort of thing. So that's a big difference with us. Um, Anything else that that really need to let the people know, Doug?
Yeah, so I don't know if people are privy to some of the inner workings of PT teams, but a lot of PT teams, the bigger names, I'm not gonna call out anybody. They're a rotating cast, right? Like once you're off the pro tour, you're all right, bye, see you later. Thank
Yeah.
you for everything. Just throw you in the corner, right? That's not necessarily our game plan. We do have like a PT testing team, like people who join in for PT testing. But our core members, right, are the 10 people we just said. Our goal is for all of us to be on the pro tour and work together to stay on the pro tour. We're
Yeah.
not throwing each other aside. We're all friends and we all care about each other immensely, and we all want to see each other succeed.
Yeah.
It's like no child left behind, kind of, except not as controversial, right? Uh, Especially in that trip in sunny San Diego, we all kind of came together and thought that we had something special, and we really want to get to those higher points,
Yeah.
but only if we're together, right? I would do anything and everything to get on the Pro Tour, stay on the Pro Tour, top 8 Pro Tour, win worlds, that kind of stuff, right? Like, those are my aspirations, right? But I wouldn't want to do it if I didn't have my friends, right?
Yeah, it's a big part of this for us, right? And to kind of elaborate a little bit for you on that too. You know, at San Diego, after that, shortly after that, we had a lot of talks. We had some discussions, and really started to try to, like, what do we want to be? Who do we want to be? And how do we want to operate? Right. And those are some really important conversations. Like we've mentioned, we've worked together in capacity. We've been friends for a while. I've known a lot of you guys for a long time. We've flown in the same circles. We've been around. As I've mentioned, I'm pretty old. Alan's pretty old. We've got some um, a diverse group here. Yeah, I'm throwing him under the bus. Okay,
Don't dox the captain.
I'm throwing him under
Not
the bus.
the
Okay,
captain. Oh my
I said we're
goodness gracious.
older. Okay,
Uh,
but so we've known each other. We've been around the block a little bit here and there, and it was important for us to really kind of come up with a formula, a game plan, mantra. I don't know, call it whatever the heck you want, but it was important for us to know what we wanted to be about and how we wanted to handle our business, right? And so that's where we kind of laid some of these ground rules of, we're not going to rotate. We're going to try to lift each other up. We're going to try to keep improving. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep getting better, and we're going to do it together. We're going to be there to support each other. And I think that's a big difference of how we operate, like we've mentioned, versus some of these other teams. And, that's not to throw shade at them. They've got different incentives. This is what we thought worked for us, and it feels like it's working for us, and that's what we're sticking with. So I think it's important to kind of call that out and highlight that here.
yeah, for sure. And I would think it's working. One of my best friends, Chris Kroll, who's on the team as well, as a prime example of this. Like, when he first started the team, he had no big results.
Yeah.
Now, he has 2 GP top 8s. This is going to be his 3rd Pro Tour coming up.
Yeah.
Like, we got to be there for that. We helped him grow into that.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what this is about, right? And sure, like, I haven't quite reached my goals yet. I've lost many
so close,
win-ins for the PT. But the thing is I wasn't even close to that point until I met these guys, right?
Yep.
And so I think we've all can see that we've grown and have each other's backs and been in this community that we can feel confident in ourselves, for sure.
Yeah, big leg up the way that we've approached this with developing our talent and cultivating our results and getting to those goals that we all have set. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to harp on it too much here. Like I said, we've got a lot of different stuff that makes us different. If we want to go into the nitty gritty, we can. Like I said, no rotating. We have sort of a agreement with each other, all of us. How much commitment can we do? We've mentioned it a few times, or at least I have, that you've got different life things happening, and you've got to balance your time and your energy, and us just being positive and being there for each other really helps keep that going. There is a grind. That's why they call it a grinder, because it wears you out and it beats you down sometimes. And if you have those close calls, you can really get discouraged, and that's where having a commitment, having a team like this really helps keep us going and keep us motivated.
Sorry, I want a grinder sandwich. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I haven't eaten. No, but like, the thing is like, we want to be competitive, but we also want to be there. End of story, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use somebody and throw them away. Not necessarily that other people are doing that. It's not necessarily saying that they're not doing that, but I don't want people to. We don't want people to feel abused and used. We want people to feel enlightened. We want to feel empowered and able to play our best magic. And we've had people come and go, and that's perfectly fine. Like, like, people have different goals here and there, but I think the people we have now, we're on the same page, and I think we're really going to make a splash in this next Pro Tour, for sure.
Oh yeah, I still think that we're still ascending. We're still getting stronger, getting better,
ascending,
refining all of our processes, and just Yeah, and that's another strength of us in not having that rotating cast is we've gone through a lot of revisions and strengthening and figuring out how to prep for events, and we've tried a bunch of different stuff. We've thrown stuff at the wall to see what would stick, and we're constantly improving those processes, and that's important. I think that's something that you lose maybe when you start having, oh, I have to catch this guy up to speed because they weren't here for the last couple events that we worked for. Um, and that's a benefit that for the way that we're approaching it is that yeah, you haven't hit that big hurdle, that first big goal. I want to be qualified for that next pro tour. Well, you're ready. You're already prepared. You've been going through all the motions. You've been going through all the same prep for the guys that we do have prepared or qualified for the pro tour. So you know what to do. You know what to expect. You know how to kind of go through all of that stuff, and that's upping our quality as a whole. And we're not having to backfill some of that information or processes or ways, or it's we're always moving forward, we're always growing and always trying to keep improving and keep getting better. So
Yeah. Well, I think like a kind of positive when we have this kind of familiarity with each other is we kind of decrease the amount of drama that can happen when you introduce
Mhm.
new people to other people. I don't know if you know this, ladies and gentlemen at home who are listening. Sometimes people don't like each other, and that causes
Are you
drama.
serious?
For
That
real. I
can't be
know.
true.
Breaking news. Holy cow. Crazy.
Yeah.
One of the positives is like if you already have this group of people that like really enjoy hanging out with each other and really enjoy working together, it can work
Yeah.
well together. If you add new people in that group, it's more likely to succeed.
Yeah.
Right? There's already this culture of cooperation that can really set anyone who joins it into success. And I think we've seen that in the past. People come and go in our PT testing teams as well. They'll think back and be like, "Wow, like this was a really cool experience for me."
You're totally right, though, Doug. I mean, we're friends first. That's an important
Yeah.
part of another distinction for our identity as a team. Is we are friends first. We literally hang out together outside of doing magic stuff, outside of other stuff. Like, I mean, what do we not do together as friends? And you
I
know,
don't think you want to say that because
okay,
then
maybe phrasing
the internet's
is
gonna go crazy with that, Jason.
maybe phrasing is important, and we'll always striving to improve, right?
Jason, the fan fiction, Jason. You just created some fan fiction that
What I
should
meant
never
was like
exist.
fantasy football, other stuff, other hobbies, other interests. We're all doing those things together.
Yeah. Get your mind out of the gutter, people.
Yeah, get it together out there. But yeah, so I mean, we are friends. That's where a lot of this started. A lot of those friendships for me really flourished, went to the next level. We're constantly communicating. We're really in line. A lot of that started for me to circle back around to RC San Diego. I mean, that was I got qualified for that. I hadn't been working or testing with you guys really. Hadn't really been around too much. Kind of just off doing my own thing. And I was like, man, I need to find a place to stay. I want to go to this event. It's going to be cool. I'm excited for Standard. That was this event that Josh Willis won, right? Good friend of ours. And I wanted to go to that event. I was really, really, big fan of Josh Willis, by the way.
Shout out Josh Willis. You know he's not on the team, but we love that guy.
Shout outs, love him. But I was just like really excited to go to the event. I really wanted to find a way to get to San Diego and have a place to stay. And I didn't have any friends or family there really. So I've got to find, other people maybe in my area. I don't even know how it all ended up working out or falling together in my lap, I guess. But y'all already had an Airbnb, some of y'all, and I didn't even know some of y'all. Like at the time, Jacob, Shaq, I didn't really know Shaq, or I'd seen and knew Jeremy a little bit. Then some of the other people that were around for that event. But I didn't know Shaq very well then. And anyways, so ended up working out fantastic. We bonded over some terrible food on Saturday. That place was.
Oh goodness.
Let's not. I don't know if we want to get started on that, but I'm sorry I mentioned it. I'm still have nightmares.
So we went to a steakhouse on Saturday
like
after
day
one.
And lobster place.
Yeah, some steak and lobster place that was just terrible. The service was terrible. The food was terrible. There were people doing not so nice things in the bathrooms. It took an hour to get.
And this was supposed to be a nice place. Like this was not a cheap dinner.
It was right next to the beach.
Yeah, it was like on the Strip or the Broadway, whatever, however you want to describe it. Right there,
it was like
close
right
by the
across
venue.
from. Yeah, it was right across from the venue, which was right next to the beach. Like.
Anyways.
All I'm saying is, don't trust Alan with food wrecks. If you need food wrecks, you go to Curtis. Curtis is our food guy.
Yes.
That was the
Yeah.
main thing I learned that whole weekend
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
don't trust Alad with food, trust Curtis.
Yes. So yeah, we had some bad food, but we had some good times too there in San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
right? There was a very memorable karaoke night where one of our co-hosts, who shall not be named, but they might be Doug, um, just crushed it, just knocked it out of the park, and I don't think a lot of people were ready for that in that pub, but
I
yeah,
love karaoke.
I mean, we had a blast.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to say here. Is we're friends. We had a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun together. That's what keeps this thing going.
Yeah. That trip was just a blast. It was super fun. We had a bad dinner, but we also had a lot of good dinners.
Mhm.
We got to, really get to know each other very well. And I think that was just a building stone of how our team grew into the cast we have now. And, we still pick up new players when we think the vibes are great and that they have the potential to be a PT player, and maybe we'll be bigger in the future. Who knows? But the main thing is whoever joins this cast of misfits, they just got to know they gotta bring it on the karaoke floor. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was San Diego. That's where, again, just to kind of put a bow on that, friends first, a lot of commitment, um, a lot of that sort of spawned from that event, and that's where a lot of things started. So after San Diego, we kind of got our heads together, really started talking about, hey, how do we, we liked what happened, we want to see some success, we want to see some, um, how do we get to that next level, right? So we started brainstorming, started really talking about a lot of that different stuff, and like I said, put our heads together, try to formalize a plan, a game plan, and how we wanted to operate. And so that's where a lot of this started for us. And flash forward to where we are. Like you said, Chris has had great success. Alan's had success. We've had people just really show up on game day and really, like I said, we are that household name maybe now. We didn't start there, but we're definitely putting our foot in the door and hopefully putting up some results that people can't ignore.
Yeah, for sure.
uh,
No, I think we're very good at celebrating each other very well. I know recently we had like a smaller tournament success at the Hunter Burton, and I remember one co-host lifting another co-host in the air and not realizing that it was photographed for everyone to see.
yeah, we were not prepared for that, but
I was not prepared for that. My hair was terrible. Terrible. Oh my goodness. It was oily. Ugh. Ugh. But yeah, no, like even then, like we had a small tournament. You won the Hunter Burton Memorial Open a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
You beat me in the top 8 because I forgot how surgical extraction works. We're not going to talk about that. But like in that moment, I didn't think about you beating me at all.
Yeah.
All I saw was my friend, my teammate, just got a big paycheck and a big trophy. And
Yeah.
I was just so excited for you in that moment that I threw my stuff down and just lifted you in the air. I was the first one.
Yes.
I
Yes.
pushed your daughter out of the way.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
get out the way!
That was something that her and I actually talked about afterwards. I brought it up and I was like, when we saw the top 8 and we figured out who was playing who, what the first thought in my head, I was like, dang, I'm paired into Doug, and would have liked to see us on the opposite side of the bracket, obviously, but the next thought that went directly through my head was like, well, that's awesome. At least one of us is going to be in the top 4. So
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
yeah, it stinks. One of us is our tournament's going to end here, but we've definitely got somebody in the top 4 now. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That gets us one step closer to a main phase member taking the event down. And so, like you said, that moment was super special. The first person there to congratulate me, a person that I had to knock out of the tournament, and that just says a lot about who you are and hopefully what we're about and hopefully how people see us. Sometimes we're the mean purple people eating machine or something. I don't know.
Somebody called us Team Rocket at one point.
Yeah, we've had some Team Rocket comps.
Yeah.
But no, like Doug was the first person to congratulate me for that, and that was awesome. That's a moment of memory that will stick with me, and that means a lot to me, and it meant a lot that I had friends and family there to share that moment with me. That's blessed. Just blessed.
Yeah. I think that sums up our team. We're just blessed. We're competitive guys that love each other, and we're going to keep getting better and better. And like even looking at like my like personal growth, like I've like my elo. I mean, if elo really doesn't matter that much, but like I can see like a physical thing of my elo increasing since I've been with you guys,
Yeah,
and even though I haven't quite met my goal yet, I've constantly put myself in positions to get to that goal, and
yeah,
I think this next year I'm gonna get through it.
yeah. I
Scurry up
expect
there.
big stuff for us in 2026. The rest of
Mhm.
2026, like we've had some those big moments already, and I think we're just going to keep having them. I think it's going to keep getting better, and that's another thing that we've talked about how we operate is just having those goals, those benchmarks, those things that you can follow, things that we can look to improve and keep growing. That's a reoccurring, but like almost a broken record at this point. But that's just it's something that's so vital to how we operate and what how we look at always kind of just trying to lift and find those that next gear. Just that's what we're here doing for each other. Is some people might be getting discouraged at that point, like, hey, I've been so close 3 4 10 times and I missed that PT qualification. I missed this. I lost in the top 8 of a pretty large event that. But we just pick each other back up and we keep trucking forward.
Well, I think everyone's picking each other up metaphorically. I don't think y'all can pick me up physically, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Hey, another goal that we're working on as a team.
For
Everybody
sure.
always
Everyone's got to be able to pick each other up,
yes.
metaphorically and literally.
It's in the bylaws. We all have to
get in the gym, baby. Come on, get those gains,
baby. All right. So I think the people probably have had enough of us ranting about our team and our construction and what we're doing differently. I guess maybe we'll jump in and talk a little about Vegas, a little bit of the PT going on.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're preparing for the PT Vegas, which is the pro tour for this next Strixhaven set, right? Is it
Secrets of Strixhaven? I believe is the name of the official name of the set. We call it Strixhaven. Everybody knows what Strixhaven means.
Strixhaven 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got a bunch of us participating in that PT, so we've kind of had our eye towards that and some previews, some WotC previews, some spoilers, things like that are kind of making their way out in the internet world.
Yeah, for sure. The way they do spoilers these days doesn't make sense to me.
It just comes so fast. Like you finish as soon as this spoiler season is done, we'll be on to the next spoiler season immediately. Yeah. Like it won't stop. There's no the pacing is a little, but that's I digress. Let's not.
Yeah, we're not gonna if we get Jason started, the old man Jason on that. Yeah, we're gonna be here forever.
We can't get the people to rant on the first episode. Like
no, that's an episode 2 kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're looking at some of that. Like I said, we've got we got plenty of people participating in that, and so hopefully we'll have some stuff we can share to you guys. No secrets for the PT, so don't be expecting that. No, but I don't know. We'll have some stuff maybe we could talk about. Maybe we could talk about some spoilers next week too, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because right now not all the spoilers are out yet. So yeah. I think by next week we'll have them all, and we'll be able to dissect a little bit. Maybe talk about how the limited's going to set up, because I think this limited format's really interesting. I feel like a lot of the color identities have been pushed even more than usual, especially when looking at like Gagari and Life Gain, and definitely something I would want to talk about for next week.
Oh yeah, what else we have on the horizons for Mainphase, right? We've got the RCQ season about to start, so that Modern's coming around the corner here, so maybe we'll get some Modern talk out there for you guys. Doug and I love to talk about some Modern.
Who's ready for a 2-hour lecture on Boros energy mirror matches, baby?
Yeah, and why your mana base is wrong, or why this card's right, and we'll those are the things we can definitely get into. We get some of that kind of going for the people.
So this is going to be a weekly thing. We will have stuff on our Metafy, some more in-depth stuff. Guys, we're excited. We're starting this journey together. And we'll see how long we get before me and Jason start hating each other. We'll see how long that takes.
That's just not possible. That's just not possible, Doug.
Well,
we'll see. We'll see how far we can push it. But yeah, like you said, we've got probably important to say, hey, where to find us, where do we get more from you guys? We'll have a bunch of links down below, so look for that. Metafy page, Twitter, all of that will be there. Links for our sponsors in case you want to check that out. We can't do this without the Mana Vault. Can't do this without Kangaroo Tales and their support. So we're thrilled to be here. Hopefully you guys like a little bit of our chatter here. We'll have some more actual information, some details, some stuff that we can really sink our teeth into next week for you. Um, but yeah, so look out for those links below here. Any last parting thoughts here, Doug, before I sign us out?
Remember, if you get a thing of Oreos, you eat the entire Oreo. You don't take the cream in it and lick it and then put it back in.
Don't put the Oreo back in the package. Once it's out of the package, it's yours. You can't.
Don't put it back in the package.
That's a story for another time. That's a story for another time.
Well, thank you all for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Thanks so much for joining us. This is the second main phase. We're signing off. Thanks, y'all. Hey, beautiful people.